everybody. It's a lovely Tuesday today. I'm here at the Clark Center. This is where I do my research. And hopefully today I'll be interviewing a bunch of people. So this will be the first of a hopefully recurring segment on my show, which is Marcus interviewing special people with random questions. Thanks. See you later. Amazing. Did you watch Knives Out?
I did.
Do you like it?
I really love that movie.
Everyone keeps telling me it's really good. Have you seen Fleabag?
No, but I really want to watch it.
It might be my favorite TV show of all time.
I've heard really good.
I think it's probably an exaggeration, but like...
But not.
Well, first of all, I think it's the only TV show I've ever actually binge watched.
Really?
Yeah, and I completely binge watched. Like I watched the entire movie, or the entire like 2 seasons in one day. Jesus. I stayed up till 5:15 a.m.
The only shows I've binge watched Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The first season.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get through the 3rd season. I just got.
It was just not
I
good.
just didn't care anymore.
Gotcha. I didn't think the 3rd season was that bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It just like it didn't draw me in enough to like continue to watch it. It's kind of a time commitment to like continue a series.
Ruth, what did you think of Costco? What's your synopsis?
Huge.
Yeah.
Too large for me. But good office.
Yeah.
You always have a smile. Like I'm still working my American smile. I always smile.
That's true.
Yeah.
When I went to France, you talk to people normally in a conversation, right? It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? But instead it's like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Cool. I'm so excited about today. It's going to be great.
Aziz, please introduce yourself. This is the birthday boy. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Aziz. I'm known as a follower of Marcus Forst.
Exactly.
So,
and so
take a lesson.
I have a question. So, how long is it going to take for you to be able to bring your program in which you teach young students AI? How long is it going to take you for you to bring that to North Philadelphia to help out the homies that I know in North Philadelphia?
Whenever you will reach out and say, Aziz, I am ready for partnership. That's the second. We're scaling.
Amazing.
We're scaling, and we're raising VC money for it.
Yeah, we're
That's
going
it.
international.
To give a non-profit turning into a for-profit in Northern Philadelphia.
Well,
yes.
I don't know if we do that for-profit. Only for the benefit of North Philadelphia.
There you go.
You heard it here first.
Sidekick, just Tajikistan is the greatest country ever, and it will be a democracy, I promise you, in about 30 years.
Yeah, that's a big goal, and there's no one that I have more faith in to make it happen. So
just putting it out there in case this blog gets blocked in Tajikistan. Now you know exactly why it happened.
There you go, exactly. All right, wow, we're making moves here, Knight-Hennessy.
Hi, Marcus.
We're here today with my running coach, Courtney Smith, the woman, the myth, the legend. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Is this gonna be part of it?
This is gonna be part of my like personal vlog, where it's just like Marcus interviews like special people and asks them random questions.
That's great.
So I have to think of a random question to ask you. So just first introduce yourself. Yeah.
My name's Courtney from Pennsylvania, the state. I'm a first-year PhD student in genetics here at Stanford.
Nice. And my question to you, Courtney, is if you were a Skittle, which color would you be?
Green.
Green? All right, that's a good answer. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now that we have done this, loosen up a little bit. You want to shake it out? All right, great.
We should take a running. We should just go for a run.
We should do it while running,
my mind will
honestly.
wander while I'm running. It's like then you'll get to look around this beautiful lake filled with water.
There you go.
Or lack thereof.
We'll do that once my ankle is healed.
Oh, that's fair.
Courtney is one of my favorite people at Knight-Hennessy.
And in the world.
Yeah, and in the world by extension. Can you tell me? So you're planning on trying to get a bunch of Knight-Hennessy scholars to run with you in the marathon. Do you have
half marathon?
Half marathon.
More
Do you
accessible.
have for people who I guess haven't started running or haven't ever run something so long? Can you just like give some tips or like some advice that or words of encouragement or I don't know, something for people who are interested in running but really haven't actually started it?
For sure. I think one of the hardest parts about running is that the mental part where your mind's your own worst enemy.
Yeah, sure.
So sometimes ahead of time, especially if I'm waking up really early to run, I come up with a phrase or just some kind of thing that I can use as brainwashing later. So instead of letting my thoughts even have room to have negative thoughts of like, I wish I was in bed, or this isn't fun, or I don't want to be doing this, I just repeat that really loud in my head over and over and over again, and it just drowns out the negative thoughts. And then once you're out there and you've started and you see the beautiful weather and nature,
Yeah, I mean, look at this.
look at
Wow.
it. Then you're good to go.
And can you like what's an example of this, like a phrase or something? It's like I'm the best, like Courtney Smith, strong.
My first one. This was from sophomore year in high school. This is what I would say to this.
When, by the way, she was beating my butt in racing and track in PA.
It would start on the start line because that's when I get most of my head. But then also throughout the races, I would just say, "I like pain. I will go faster." And self-fulfilling prophecies. It works.
Do you still use that one, or do you have you
I
adapted?
throw it in there. I change. It depends on the mood.
Okay, gotcha. And Courtney is also famous, at least to me, for her organization and scheduling. So, do you have any tips for people like me who are less organized but want to become more organized and maybe a little more structured?
For sure. I would say for a start, I don't know if it's always the best thing. I think it's a great skill to have, to be able to be spontaneous and not plan everything out. But I do pretty much the week ahead, I lay out the things that I know are events that I have to, or classes that I have to be at. And then the day before, I pretty much block off every minute on like my iCloud calendar, and there's time like this room. I'm not like this second, but it's like these 3 hours I'm going to be working on this, and this hour I'm going to be going to this. And I think one thing I've learned recently is to schedule time for the conversations and to schedule time for things to take longer.
Random interviews.
You think they will for random interviews, because they do happen, and you don't give yourself room. If you're too optimistic, then that's when it's harder to stick to, because it's just unreasonable and unsustainable.
Sure. So for something as, I guess, unstructured as research, how do you like make, I guess, achievable goals to make sure that you're staying on track and you're making progress, even when things kind of feel freeform or just like never ending and amorphous?
For sure. That's a great question. It's still something I'm trying to figure out.
Same.
I have an electronic notebook that I write in every day. And I, at the top of it, so like each week, this is more detail than you care about, but I'm
asking this question for me, not for the audience.
Each week is its own note, and so I just add on the days. But at the top of each week, I have my running to-do list of just overall everything I could possibly think to do. Some of the things I'm not getting to anytime soon, or I might not even do. But that's always there. So then at the beginning of each day, I read through all of it, and then I can I know what's always things I could do if I ever get stuck and want to pivot a little bit. And then also it helps me think of priorities, because I'm like, oh, maybe I naturally thought first of this one thing, but then I'm like, oh, this thing's maybe a little more pressing or urgent.
Cool. All right. Well, there you have it. Courtney Smith, everybody. Thank you very much.
Great. Here, do you want to give a plug? Tell me about your was it Colker Cash? For context, Seth just gave this great presentation about his I guess monetary system that he developed for his students in a school in Rhode Island. So you want to just tell a little bit about it and kind of, I don't know, your goals. And what you think
so I'm in my old teacher attire right now. I don't wear this every day to class.
It's beautiful.
But I've got my math tie on. I was a high school math teacher before I came here, and my name's Seth Colker. So to the students, I was Mr. Colker, and so I created Colker Cash. And this great institution we have here is weekly lunches where you come. They have a free, delicious catered lunch, and then you just hear stories from other classmates. So another one today was about neuroscience and how
ultrasound and how you can target ultrasounds to just I guess zap a part of the brain that is causing trouble. And
Yeah. So she was talking about this, giant research adventure, and I spent the time talking about making online bank accounts for my students, and then they would get bills for doing good things in class, and they deposit them online, and then rent their desks or get a mortgage, and they wound up, getting in credit card debt, so they would learn not to do that in real life, and having inflationary spirals and embezzling money that then they got convicted for. So it was a big adventure I got to share with everybody here in the KH family.
It's amazing, and now we all have accounts. And so we can all, I don't know how we're going to how we're going to act with each other.
We tend to make anything with a K sound into a KH, so this is Kolker Cash. So for doing this good service for the community, here's some you can deposit into your account now.
I'm so excited, and I'm excited to see where we can take this. I think it's a great idea. But,
awesome.
Wonderful. All right.
Thank you so much.
Ciao. Do you have one specific story of like an example of when you really just like felt this, I guess, like diversity of thought, but also like real caring about trying to help people?
Well, so for me, I come from a background where girls are not afforded as many opportunities as boys may have. This isn't very obvious where I live, but when you go through the country, you see that there are considerable disparities along gender and ethnic lines. And so when I saw the emphasis on contribution to a wider group or something that would have global impact, and how Knight-Hennessy has always emphasized things that would do that, I recalled my experiences. For example, I believe that I come from a family where my mom could have been more achieved. She may have achieved more educationally, but because of certain norms in the society, she may not have been able to get that far, and which sort of piqued my interest in how psychology could reduce these barriers in the society for women. And then I've also experienced cases where your socioeconomic level, well, it's actually everywhere in the world, but then in countries which have considerable levels of poverty, your socioeconomic status can say a lot about how far you go. And when you see people who realize that your socioeconomic status shouldn't be a barrier if you have the ability, then you understand that this is what we need to transform the world. If everyone has access to opportunities, irrespective of how much their families have or what their backgrounds look like, but if they're capable and if they're able to compete, on a similar footing as others, it sort of gives everyone has a chance to progress. And I feel that is where we need to be as people in the world. So some of my experiences have informed these views, and I just saw that connection with the Knight-Hennessy ideal, and which is why I appreciate it.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much. Love to have you on the show, Io. We'll, of course, get more interviews in the future, but always good to hear your words of wisdom.
It was a pleasure, man.
I wish you could, on YouTube, maybe you send a request to the music people and be like, hey, do you want to split the profits on this video?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I can use your music.
Well, I think you can. I think that is a thing. Yeah. I feel like you can monetize your video, but as long as the music
people agree
to do it.
My thing is, I feel like they'd be much more likely to actually look at it. Well, I feel like they're not going to look at it, right? Because they don't have time to do tons of things. Outtakes.
We're gonna cut past that part.
But if you could just say, all right, I give 20% or whatever the company, and they'd be more likely. First of all, people would just keep videos up instead of taking them down.
Right.
Because usually what happens right now is they just monetize the full thing. Like the music company gets the credit for the entire video.
Yeah, which is dumb, because I've heard that people will put like a 20-minute video up and then it'll have like 5 seconds of copyrighted music and it'll ruin the whole thing.
Right. So, I think it would just be a little bit better for everybody involved. Like, then the music people could still make money off of it. And like you could negotiate on the percentage that you take home, but I don't know. One of the reasons that people use like crab rave in all the time, and one of the reasons it's this huge meme song is because it doesn't get taken down.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like the one song that everyone just like realized they could use, and it wouldn't be a problem.
I'm sure that's a booming business of people that just make music that's free. Just like, yeah, you can use this in your YouTube video.
Yeah. Well, I've listened to Crab Rave a lot on Spotify as a result, right?
True. So it might
It's probably made like 20 cents off of me by myself.
My self-chosen spirit animal, because also called water bear. They have been to space, and they're let out there and just like in the vacuum, and they're like totally fine. They have little babies and they're totally fine. And they come back down to earth, and they can live, they're extremophiles, so they can live in lots of like super cold, super high pressure, super hot, all these crazy environments. And so the hypothesis, or I don't know, the theory is that potentially something like that, like an extremophile, could have like seeded life, or could potentially seed life in the future, because likely they would have the greatest potential of any form of life we know to do that.
So what are they? Like, what are they like?
They're little microorganisms, also called moss piglets, because they live in moss usually. Or like that's one of the ecosystems they like a lot. And they're really cute. Well, they're kind of ugly, but they're cute ugly, you know?
Yeah.
And they just kind of live their lives, but like are really good at it. And when bad environment conditions happen, they just kind of shrivel up and die for a little bit. And then once it's better, they wake back up and they're like, hello.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I actually wrote like one of my research projects in the fall about them, like the genetic sides, like studying the genetics. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
There's a great, I think it's a SciShow YouTube video about them, and it's really cute because he's like, and then they made little tardigrade babies, and they're like, what's up?
Wow.
I just gave away the best part of it, but still
that's
recommend
awesome.
watching.
Awesome. Dang. Are in carbon nanotubes, or that's different? Not carbon nanotubes. I mean the things on the bottom of the ocean. You know what I'm talking about? There's like microtubules or whatever. Like on the vents, on the hot vents.
These look like literally like mini bears, but like cell form. So I don't think they're the same, but maybe.
Okay.
Cool. I just claim to know a lot about them, and I only know enough probably about what I just told you is everything I know. What is your spirit animal, Marcus?
It's a good question. I'd like to think it's like a lion, or like a young lion. It's a little bit more like playful.
Yeah, a social lion.
Yeah, I think lions are pretty social. I think that's kind of one of the reasons why. Yeah. What do you think?
I need to know more about types of animals. I think the primary distinguishing factor would have to be like social and like nice, altruistic or something. Lions sound pretty good. I could see it.
They're pretty friendly. I love cheetahs, but I think they're a little bit more, I guess, like solitary. But there you have it. Part 2.
Also, peace out.
All right, Tyler. So recently, we're selfieing it. So recently, I guess it was Monday? We were talking about flipping. Tyler is he's kind of, he's an aficionado.
Martial arts tricker, as we say.
Exactly. So Tyler's described to me that flipping is all mental. So you just like take us through the process of like a flip, like what the important things are, and like what important mental barriers there are and how to break them down.
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, the first, I think it's a little bit weird. The real process, so like these days when I'm doing a flip that I've done before, the process is like, I go from like, oh, I'm planning out what I'm gonna do, to like total mind blank. Like, it's like meditative, you know? Like you're just like totally like, you can't think, like you're not supposed to think.
Sure.
And sometimes I've taken recordings of myself trying to do a flip or a combo or something, and I start thinking mid-flip, and you see me go, and like totally spaz and bail.
Oh wow.
But when you're first learning it, I think the stages it goes like for learning a new flip or a new trick or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the stages go first. It's like you need to figure out sort of how to move your body, and then once you sort of get it and you're like not dying every time you do it, then you just need to 100. Then you need to like be like really mad at it and get like aggressively like I'm gonna go, and then you just hit it and then you go, and usually it looks bad, but like you land it, and then once you get like your feet stuck, then you're like okay, this is good. You get mad at it a couple times, and then past the mad stage, then you like make peace with it, and then you just like relax your body in like mid flip so that you feel like you can be more smooth with it. And then once you're done like intentionally relaxing, then you can just like go zen.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you have it.
I'm not actually that good, but
I
that's just
want
sort
to
of my
see
process.
Tyler. Can you do a flip for us? Maybe indoors or
sure.
I don't know
whatever,
what like
anywhere.
a safe
Here?
spot is. Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Just real quick. Ooh, is
Look at
this the
this.
first flip I've done at Denning House? I think it is. What's up?
I hope so. I think here. Wait. Let me get the. All right. We're at full view.
Hope I don't bail. Yeah.
No, you got it. Dude, wow. Wow. That was
I'm not warmed
amazing.
up.
Heck yeah, dude. That was amazing. Well, there you have it. Tyler Shen, everybody.
Marcus
Flips, flipping.
Flipping.
Keep flipping.
Keep flipping,
Just keep
guys.
flipping.
Just
All right,
just
peace.
keep swinging. That was great.
Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the bell icon for more notifications. Thanks for tuning in. You gotta really get these hand motions in here. Thanks,
We'll
guys.
see you guys next month or probably sooner. Peace.